Tonight we're going to have 60 students, both from part-time and full-time web development and data science, presenting for you. We're going to have 16 applications, 16 products being pitched to you tonight. I want you to keep in mind when you see those applications that some of our students had no coding experience, sometimes no data science experience before joining the bootcamp. So keep that in mind while you're watching the presentation and witness what you can reach, what level you can reach within 2 months for our full-time student or 6 months for our part-time students. Without further ado, I guess we are ready to dive into our first pitch for tonight. Let's welcome Ellen on stage for CareKey.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ellen, and I'm a software developer. I recently got a job, and I guess going through the Wagon really helped me out. It was totally worth it. But the thing is, during my daily life, my 9-to-5 job, it's really tough. I'm really pushing myself hard, working hard, and sometimes I don't have really time to take care of myself, where I end up forgetting, and I skip meals, I don't sleep enough, and I did try a lot of things. I tried writing to-do lists, I tried journaling, but I forget those. Those tend to be boring, and that's why, like, my coworker, she was having the same problem, and she told me, like, I have this really good app that's been helping me, and I just walked all the way here, so that kind of counts as a workout, and I had dinner, so I'm gonna show you why I love this app. So, she's know me too well, and I noticed you didn't get enough sleep. Well, yeah, you want to set a reminder. Yeah, I do. Actually, I should, because I haven't been sleeping enough. And I think 10:30 sounds nice. I don't know what I'm going to be doing by 10:30, but so that's good. That's going to remind me so I don't oversleep. Nice. It's being said. Oh, no, she's looking tired. Okay. Since I worked out, let's make her workout as well. Do you exercise? Oh, some coins. Nice. And she's looking better. And I did eat dinner tonight. So, yes, I did eat dinner. 30-day streak. I think I haven't been having all my meals properly. So, let's see what this is about. It's a new item. Okay, got reward. Oh, it's a shirt. And, okay, it's a Wagon t-shirt. And that's looking cute. I think it's a rare item. I've never seen that before. And, okay, I think it should look better if I had some other pants. I think it would look nicer. So let me see what I have at the shop. Okay, some pants. Oh, some skinny jeans. I'm gonna buy those since I got some coins. Okay, looking good. She's looking cute. And right now, okay, make sure you check your daily goals. Yeah, actually, I haven't checked my to-do list for today. And let me see what I have. Okay, maybe I haven't done everything. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, I had breakfast. Okay, meditate. I did meditate early today. And I did some reading. So, oh, nice. Some more coins. I can get more stuff. And I didn't stretch, but nobody's perfect, so I couldn't get everything done. Yeah. Actually, for this week, I think I'm gonna study some JavaScript. Actually, I need it for work, and to be honest, I'm still having some hard time with it. So, yeah, JavaScript study, and to be honest, like, I check my daily goals, and I'm a visual person, so I want to see how my week is going. So let me see my progress. Okay. Some green, that's good. I see some red, but that's why I'm using this app anyways. I did meditate this week. I haven't been stretching much lately, but I think that's fine. And I mean, I can see what I've been doing, what I've not been doing. That's helping me. And yeah, it's helping me keep track of like what I should do to take care of myself. I mean, if anything, I'm doing it for her, not for myself. But if I'm taking care of her, I'm taking care of myself. And yeah, if you want to level up your life as well, like, try it on, CareKey. And I want to thank my team for all the hard work and all the teachers and TAs for everything. Thank you so much.
For the next presentation, we're going to be diving a little bit into data science with our very first data project. For that pitch, I'm going to be welcoming Tony on stage.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. And Legends Upper 4 is the name of our project. And here's my team, Nicola from France, Yoshito from Japan, and me, Tony from Vietnam. And we all have loved ones in our life, right? And we all want them to have a happy life. But sometimes some of them may not be able to live independently. And who am I talking about? They are the elderly, the sick, the disabled. Many of them live alone, lack of support. And when they live alone, accident happen. What accident am I talking about here? That is fall. So fall is actually the leading cause of injury death of older adults. So why is that? Let's talk about the root cause. So according to research, when somebody falls and does not get discovered by others and does not get immediate treatment, the physical and mental damage get worse. Let's talk about solution. So with our project, we would like to propose to you a fall detection system, which is going to work with the camera. That when somebody falls, the camera gonna detect a fall and gonna do something really cool about it. And we're going to share with you at the later. Yeah? Excited? Yeah, good. I like that. Yeah. So this is what we have been working on. We started with dataset preparation, then we trained a model, then finally we built an application. For dataset, we're talking about a customized dataset of 5,000 images of people in standing position, sitting, and falling position. Random people, random background. For model training, we use a computer vision model called YOLO, which stands for You Only Look Once. So for model training, let's talk a bit more about model training. So we started with hyperparameter tuning. So for some of you who don't understand what it means, it basically just means that we try to find the best configuration for our model to learn the data set. Then we train our model, various model, with the data set just to find the best model with the best score. And finally, we fine-tune our model with a mixed data set of both people and background images. And one thing to point out here is, just a tiny improvement in the score of the model is going to make a huge difference in the detection of the model. Yeah, and for our application building, we use our Streamlit and API. So we don't want you to wait any longer. It's going to be demo time. So from now, we're going to show you how the model works. We're going to connect an external camera. So now, please look at Yoshito, this gentleman here. And, okay, perfect. So now you see the model detects that Yoshito is standing in a frame, and people passing by, yes, same, right? Standing, right? Yoshito, can you take a seat, please? Yes. Can you please, dive? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're not done. Yeah. The fun part is not yet. Okay, guys. Now we can confirm that the model is working, right? And yeah. And now you remember this slide when we showed you earlier that we have some secret to show you, right? We're going to show it right now. Yeah, we don't have the demo. Now, from now, the Yoshito is going to be in the role of an obachan, a grandma who lives alone and nobody is at home with her. So let's see how our model can detect and support our grandma. So grandma is in the kitchen. Yeah, it detects her standing in the kitchen. Grandma start walking. Yeah, in the kitchen, and there's something on the floor, and grandma doesn't see it. She may trip over. Yes. Oh, yeah, and nobody is at home. But our camera detected her. Yes, you see that? The alert. We just sent out an alert. Yes, amazing. Let's see. Let's check it out. And I believe that some of you here, you have subscribed to our Slack channel right after you came to this place, right? Can you check your Slack channel and have you got the message right in your Slack channel? Please raise your hand. Yeah, yeah, we got many hands. Like I see like hundreds. We have say our grandma, right? And so you've seen it. So the whole idea of our project is not only about detection, but it's about protection. Yeah. So what our model does is after it detects the fall, it's going to trigger an alert and send an alert to the family member, and that family member is going to call an ambulance to support their loved one. So one thing we want to talk about here is we believe that our product is going to be a better option for the elderly than a smartwatch. The reason is with a smartwatch, like for the elderly, it's going to be quite inconvenient because they have to remember to charge it every day. They have to remember to put it on every day. But with our product, it's going to be constantly running in the house and protecting your family. Yeah? And yeah. Some of you may ask, so how can our model distinguish between a falling person and a person who's lying down, right? Pretty tough question. We have already figured out the solution. So we're going to add some features that user can, they can choose the certain areas in the room that they want to disable the detection, like the bedroom or the sofa where people lie down. Yeah? Okay, so finally, to end our presentation, it's just a quote from someone not so famous. Protecting one another is an act of love. Everything we want from our project is just many more of those smiles. Yes. Finally, yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, my beautiful team. And thank you, everyone at Wagon for an amazing journey. Yeah, thank you.
I believe we can move on to our next pitch. Let's welcome Loris on stage.
Hi, I'm Larisse. I'm originally from the Philippines, and I've been here in Japan for 2 years now. And you know what? I love it here. I've gained a few friends and some acquaintances as well. But some of you may be able to relate with it. I also encounter daily troubles. That would include navigating the Japanese or the global workplace environment, or filing taxes, or recently a housing concern. What I do? I usually talk to my family and friends. But you know what? They can't always have the answer. And I respect that. That's okay. Luckily, a good friend of mine in Spain, who is Sho, recommended me kitakits.me. It's a dedicated space where you can find a senpai, someone who has a knowledge, expertise, and maybe a little bit of experience over a topic. Then I can chat that person in private. So, honestly, I've been really bothered and extremely stressed of this recent concern. I misunderstood my visa renewal. I looked at my residence card and I swapped the dates. It's extremely stressful, so I need to find a senpai soon. So I'll look for one. Now I see 3 senpai here: Marty, Anne, and T-Man. You know what? They look really credible. But T-Man is an HR director. I don't need an HR director for now, but I need to talk to my employer very soon. But looking at Marty and Anne, they're quite good. They're in the immigration field and they have expertise in visa. Marty is online a minute ago, which is extremely important for me because this is an urgent matter. I don't want to be detained very soon, right? So let's see his details. And luckily he has good reviews. He seems very kind and very patient. He reminds me of my friend Raj. And I really appreciate this. I hope I can book him very soon tomorrow. Lunchtime. Let's see. And I book him. And you know what? I think he's online. So let me send a quick chat and see. Like maybe I can send my topics ahead. So just so that he can prep with it. I don't know if he will respond straight away. He might be very busy. But let's see. And, waiting a bit. Oh, Marty responded, luckily. I really appreciate it. He's happy to discuss tomorrow. Just to make sure, I'll add it in my calendar. And let me add it in my calendar. just save it straight away, and that clears out that problem. But you know what? That reminded me. I had a good talk with a senpai a while ago because I've been using this app quite a while now. Her name is Jane. She's been extremely helpful for a housing concern. And I want to see our booking history because I want to do something good. You know, she helped me a lot. She talked about the transfer process about a housing concern. She also talked about deposit. And I want to thank her. So I'll resolve this problem and I'll leave her a good review because that's important. People can find her and people will trust her and she can help more people. So let me thank Jane for that. I'll make sure to give her a 5 stars. Thank you. And I feel better. I feel so much relieved right now just by knowing that I have people to talk to when I encounter daily troubles, daily life problems here in Japan. And I really appreciate that. And it's thanks to this app, Kita-Kitsame. And of course, thank you for all the senpais. Now, thank you for listening so much. And this app is not possible without the help of the whole team. Our tech lead, Martin, and our front end, Jane. And we have Sho, who is currently in Spain right now. And of course, the original senpais of Wagon Tokyo, our teachers and TA. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening. I hope to see you in this project very soon as we launch it in the future.
Let's welcome Sarah on stage for Noboru.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I am very excited to introduce to you guys our project, Noboru. So I'm sure you guys are unfortunately all familiar with climate change and how maybe humans are kind of putting ourselves in a little bit of a sticky situation with our carbon emissions. But did you guys know that actually over 70% of our carbon emissions can be accredited to energy use, and specifically energy use in buildings like electricity, CO2, air conditioning is only almost nearly at 20%. So also Japan, like most modernized nations, really are very reliant on fossil fuel. They don't use a lot of renewable energy. Also, Tokyo, very dense metropolitan area, so there's a lot of buildings densely packed together, and there's a lot of unused rooftop space. So we were thinking, what if we could build a model that would be able to detect rooftop space that was able to be used and allow local governments to figure out how much space do they have, how much energy could be generated with that space, how many homes could be powered with that energy, and how much CO2 could be offset by using renewables instead of fossil fuels. And this is how Noboru was born. I would like to jump straight into the demonstration. The image is actually a link. So this is also my current favorite cat gif. I hope you like it. Okay, so we start out by entering a location or an address. I would love if someone could give me an address. Oh, that is such a good one. What if we did Waseda? And our model takes a little bit to process the image, so I'm going to go over our calculations while it's doing its thing. So first, our model identifies where the rooftops are, and then based on the zoom level, it calculates the number of pixels, and then it gives us an estimated area. And based on that area, we get an estimated solar generation. We get data from the Japan Meteorological Institute. We get the yearly solar hours, and we get the yearly solar radiation. And then after that, we then estimate how much CO2 could be offset. And then we also give kind of an equivalency for how many homes could be generated and what the CO2 actually equates to. That data we get from the US EPA. She's still taking her time, but she will be up soon, I believe. We do also have a couple preloaded ones, hopefully, so just in case she thinks too long. Hey, okay, nice. So you can see on the left, we have the original image, and then on the right, we have the map. Pretty good job of figuring out where the rooftops were, and you can see that it would give you a yearly 3,000 or so megawatts of energy, and it could offset about 3,000 metric tons of carbon. And you can see that would power about 270 homes, and the emissions are equivalent to about 640 cars. Let's also look at some of the other ones because we also, if they're up, they're not. So that's fine. That's fine. No, it's not. It takes a while, so it's all good. So let's talk about how did we do this. We took Meta's segment anything model, and then we retrained it with data. So if you actually look at the model, you can kind of see it really is focused on segmenting every part of an image out, which is a little bit too generalized for us. So you can, yes, this is what like an initial image would look like, and this would be the after, kind of too general. So we gave it data from the Japan Geospatial Institute. It's about 7,200 images of pre-labeled buildings. And this is a really great data set, but unfortunately it does have its limitations because it only labels single-family homes. So mansions, department stores, big buildings like that are unfortunately not included. So our model kind of struggles a little bit when it's trying to calculate images that have big buildings like that. But through training with this data, we were able to receive an initial performance F1 score of 31.5%. But then we smoothed our images, which basically just means that we kind of cleaned it up a little bit, a little less messy. We got up to 66.6%. And don't be scared. F1 basically just means that we praised our model when it actually detected a rooftop, and we slapped its wrist when it detected something that was not a rooftop, and it said that it was. Make sure it's not lying to us. So we got a 35.1% improvement. And so with that is how we were able to get our model to find rooftops and then calculate some areas for us. Now, I would like to let Sylvain know that I did go ahead and calculate the Wagon for him. It also kind of got some of the buildings in the neighborhood. That's fine. With the combined power, you guys could get about 100 megawatts of energy in a year, which could power 10 homes or 166 laptops. Think about that. So, and this would not have been possible without our wonderful team. We had Sam, and we had Brian, we had Mark, and we had the Louise. Yeah, really, thank you guys so much for your hard work. And thank you guys for listening. We do have a QR code in case you want to figure out how much area or renewable energy your area could generate. So curious. Thank you guys.
Let's welcome Nick on stage.
Hi there. It's me, Nick. I'm new in town. My wife Giselle and I have just moved into a brand new home. But our rooms are bare. We have no furniture. So, where can we look? We've scoured the web and we've trudged the land. There's a lot of furniture out there, but we want to find something that really matches. We want a scheme that looks beautiful, that will impress our guests. So, we turn to FRNSHR. Nice, we can see. We can find a scheme and we can build a room from it. So, let's get inspired. I think we'll start with our living room, the core of the home. And my wife Giselle wants a nice warm tone. So let's go for a bright red. Nice. We have a few choices. I think the harmonic style will look the best. We'll have some reds and some yellows. Ooh. All right. So we're just scouring the internet. I should try and say S less often, I think. All right. No more S's. So, I think at the center of our living room, in the middle of our living room, let's have a couch. All right, so we'll have a big red couch. Perfect. And I think we'll want some chairs. Let's try the yellow chairs at the top, the plang. Lovely. Now, every living room also needs some curtains. So, can we have the yellow curtains up there? Wonderful. Okay, this is looking pretty good. And we will want a bookcase. There's a couple of choices of bookshelf. We'll take the Billy. Now, there are two options. There's the dark brown one and the light brown one. We'll just take both and we'll choose later. Okay, now, you can see there's a lot of pillows, cushions. All right, so, yeah, let's just search for cushions and we'll see if we can bring those out. All right, so we got a lot of cushions there. So I think we'll go for that very bright red one, the girly. Wonderful. And can we have one of those yellow ones, a Svart Papel? Excellent. And finally, I think we'll top it off with the apple, the Disney villains. I think a lot of people will comment on that. They'll enjoy that. Now, I think we've got a pretty complete room here. There's just one more thing I want. This one's for me. I like blue. So I want to find a blue item. Let's just see what we can get. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so I like that really bright blue side table. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. That won't clash at all. Okay, so let's move on and we'll plan out the appearance of our room. Okay, so we can just put the sofa in there. Nice. Okay, so our room's looking pretty red at the moment. Let's have the chairs. Yeah, we'll have 2 of those. We will have guests. We hope. And the curtains. Yeah, so our room's pretty yellow dominated now. That's all right. Let's put the cushions in. Can we just let's have 2 of the red ones and 2 of the yellow ones. And we'll take that one apple as well. That's going to be great. So, all right, now we can see our scheme at the top. It's looking quite nice. We need to choose which bookcase will match it best, though. So can we look at the darker one, please? Okay, you can see that's all right. Can we try the lighter one? Okay, I think I prefer that one. We'll keep that. And, okay, finally, my pièce de résistance. Sorry. We'll take my blue table. That is beautiful. See how that changes the scheme. Absolutely incredible. So, our next step, we can share this. We'll build a PDF, which we can send to my wife, Giselle. She can veto any furniture item that she might not like, or approve everything, which I assume she will. Well, we can take this to the shop and slap it down, place it down on the counter, and tell them to fetch everything for us. So it'll be really easy to just fill our list. Okay, that is everything. I'd like to say thank you very much to the FRNSHR team. It's Justin, Nikita, and Ruby. Yeah, that's the end. Get furnished. All right.
And our next project is going to be another web development project. I don't have a huge intro for you, so without further ado, let's welcome Rashad and Osama on stage for UQ.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rashad, and I've been an English teacher in Japan for, I'm guessing, maybe half of most of your lives, for a very long time. Now, when I first started teaching, I was full of confidence, and that is because I believe that all students learn best the way that I did back in high school, through things like, spoken activities and role plays, stuff like that, right? But when I first started, I soon realized I couldn't be further from the truth. That is because in the beginning, all of my class averages were trash. They were really bad. And it was really frustrating year after year. No matter what I did, no matter what I tried, nothing ever seemed to help improve my class averages, right? That is until a good friend of mine recommended this app, which has been helping me reach my students in ways that I could never possibly try to do alone, okay? UQ, or Your Intelligence, first caught my eye through its focus on trying to teach children in a way that makes sense to their individual learning styles. All right, so for example, just because I learn best, through spoken activities and things of that nature, doesn't mean the rest of my students learn the same way. Some people learn better with, reading materials. Others learn better with boring lectures. Well, boring for me, but not boring for them, right? So using an acronym called VARC, UQ has been helping me teach my students with 4 different lesson approaches, lesson approach styles, right? Visually, audibly, through reading, and kinesthetic, which is a form of, what's it called? Hand to hand, I don't know. But it's a form of action, all right? So like learning through action, right? So we're just in luck because one of my classes just finished one of their homework assignments last night. So let's take a look at how they're doing and seeing, what can I do to help them along, just a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to look at my class 2B. Looks like our next lesson is going to be the present perfect. So let's see how we're going to do about this. Okay. All right, so before we go on here, I need to prepare for my lesson for next week in advance because, I really don't want to put it off too much because I'm a huge procrastinator. So let's make a new lesson right now with the UQ AI feature. So click on new lesson. The date will be let's make it for maybe for today, I guess. Why not? I'm making it today. So let's put the date for today. Because today is the day that's being made. And we're going to focus on the present perfect continuous. My high school kids hate this so much. So it's a good place to start. All right, and we have our content loaded there. We have our lesson title and some things I want to really, really focus on for the core part of the lesson. And let's create the lesson. All right, so while this is loading, I have a question for everyone. Are there any teachers in the audience? Any teachers? A little bit, right? All right, so for the teachers that are in the audience, you would understand how much work you have to put in for every single lesson that you have to make, right? Now, can you imagine making the same lesson 4 times through visual learning, audible learning, reading learning, and kind of stuff? Can you imagine doing that? I'm guessing no, because we don't get paid enough for that. But luckily, that's why I really love this app, because this app helps make all that content for me so I don't have to put in that much work, right? So with this AI feature right here, I get to have this all 4 lessons kind of created for me in a way that I can edit them later to maybe fit more in my own teaching style, right? So now that this AI lesson has been created, let's take a peek at it. The present perfect continuous. All right, so the visual, okay, so it looks like it has some good information for the visual. I'll add some pictures on those slides a little bit later to make it a little bit more attractive for my students. Let's check the audible right quick. All right, let's see how the audible
Emphasizing
works.
result or outcome. In addition to highlighting the duration of an action, the present perfect continuous tense can also focus on the result or outcome of that action.
That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's actually a little bit better than what I would have came up with myself. That's interesting. All right, that's cool. All right, so now that this lesson looks ready to go and looks like all of my students are pretty much aligned with all of their learning styles, okay. Now let's check my group or class chat to see if any of my students had questions from last night's homework assignment. All right, we're gonna have to chat over here. Oh, wait a minute, I got one question from one of my students, Osama. Oh, he's my new transfer student. That kid is so cute. Hi, Mr. Rashad. I have issues with the lesson present perfect. Would you mind sending me some supplementary lessons? Ooh, he's having some trouble with that one. A lot of my students do. All right, so let's take a look at the responses to see how he's been progressing with his homework lately. All right, so taking a look over here. All right, so I am looking at all the class averages of all 4 learning styles. It looks like my reading students are struggling though. Interesting, and I don't like to see red numbers. So let's take a closer look at my reading students. All right, ooh, Yosuke, Hikari, Fuka, Osama. Oh, let's take a closer look what's going on. Oh my God. My man has just been like on a sinking ship this whole time. Oh man, I'm feeling as a teacher, I gotta do something about this. All right, then let's make a supplementary lesson to try to help him get out of this rut, okay? All right, so I'm going to go back over here to supplementary lesson. All right, so he's having a little bit of trouble with that. All right, now I'm going to generate this lesson for him and send it to him personally in a chat to make sure that he doesn't feel left behind, as many students usually feel that way when they feel like they're not following along with their lessons. All right, so hopefully Osama can see this lesson and it will help him better to, not go from this way to a little bit more this way. All right.
Hello, I'm Osama, and as you saw, I kept failing. Now, sadly, I've been trying to do the lessons in the oral learning style because I thought that it would be easier for me to listen to a lesson while playing some games, so I can multitask. But that didn't work out very well. I asked my teacher, Rashad, for some more extra lessons. Now, Rashad recommended to me that I should follow a reading style as I took a VARC test and that seemed the most optimum. Although it's a bit traditional and boring, but I think that might work best for me. Let me log in just so I can see my lessons. Oh, my password's right. That's great. Let's go to my lesson that I'm looking at. Let's check the chat if Rashad replied to me with some supplementary lessons. I see he messaged me and there are supplementary lessons created. Let me go into that. Let's switch it to the other version. Now, as he recommended for me to go through the reading style, let's see how does reading look like. Now, there is a lot of text here, but let's read some of it. What is present perfect continuous? The present perfect continuous tense is a verb form used to describe actions. That does start to make a lot more sense, but I think I need some examples. I believe our app also has some AI feature that can give me more information. Let's try that out. Present perfect continuous examples. Now, an example here is, I have been studying for my exams all week. That does make a lot more sense after reading what the lesson is about. Now, I'm feeling a lot more confident. I think I'm going to pass this year and hopefully go to the next year. And with that, I'd like to thank my team members and the audience here. I have Rashad as well as Edward. Thank you so much.
Let's welcome Mealmuse on stage. We're going to have Anna and TJ present it to you.
Our project is about food, and I'm actually terrible at cooking, and I happen to be on my way to a cooking party right now. I just came back from the grocery store. I got some ingredients, and I'm hoping that they go well together. So, Anna, first of all, thank you so much for wearing the matching aprons that we got. I got us some negi. I like salmon sashimi, so I got us that. I also like chocolate, and chocolate. And then also some ice cream too. I think if we take something like really good and put it together with another thing that's really good in one dish, it's gonna be really good. What do you think?
Yeah, like chicken, salmon, and negi, and chocolate. And ice cream, of course. Yeah, it sounds a bit adventurous. Anyone want to try this here? Oh, okay. We got some on the wait list. But you know what? We have Mealmuse. Instead of just cooking everything together and probably like too adventurous, you want to know how Mealmuse works?
Yeah. Tell me what's going on. What's with Mealmuse? Okay, so that's the app. Okay, it looks like there's a start button, so let's click it. Think it's going? Okay, but so this app, can you tell me just very briefly, is it pretty much like we're going to be entering in ingredients and then it's taking a little bit long.
Wait for the pizza first. Okay. So before we started, let's introduce a bit of our app, what it's doing. So Christine, can you go back to the presentation, please? Okay, so some questions for everyone. Raise your hand if you cook. Wow, a lot of people cooking here. Raise your hand if you always wonder what to cook. Or thinking, are there any other varieties? Yeah, me too. And also, like really, you have so many left over in your fridge and you don't know what to do with this. Yeah, this is how my fridge always piling a lot of things up. So this is where Mealmuse come in. So we turn what you have to what you crave. And hopefully, yes, our app is working now.
Cool. Okay. So we put in our ingredients here, it looks like. Quick, I need some ingredients. Garlic. Okay. I like chicken. Can we do chicken? Onion? Ice cream. Let's try this. So we click on the recipes Muse button. And yeah, what's going on here? Can you tell me?
Yeah, so it's going over a lot of data and model that we are doing actually. So let me tell you about what we work. So we put the ingredients inside the app and we return the recipe. So what we do, we pair the ingredients, like checking chicken if it's got with chocolate, if it's got with ice cream, and then we create recipes based on that. And after the created recipe, we'll go on for the generators to see if it's a good recipe or not. And if it's a bad one, we will regenerate it until it returns to a very good recipe. So a bit story behind this. So we use the data from food.com, which is the recipe website that has over 170,000 ingredients, over 180,000 recipes, and a million of user ratings. And based on that, we connect to ChatGPT API to generate the recipe. And then we build our own evaluator. So we use scikit-learn and Google Bird to let us know whether it's a good recipe or not. And the big journey that we have, yeah, and big journey is seeing us. Hi, say hi to everyone. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in this apron, we can sign it for us. So this is an apron that is like handmade by Christine. So you can see our name here, our ingredients here. So sign from Mealmuse. Maybe we can provide to Salbion later if you have. Yeah. Okay, luckily we have our app backs. Okay, thank you. Okay, so next slide. So our challenges. So within all the data we collected, we have this imbalanced recipe ratings. And we also find it very hard to tell whether a recipe is good or not. You cannot just rate it. You probably need to make it to see if it's a good one. So what we do is we use feature transformation. We do the encoding one. And we try to fine tune our thresholds to find whether it's a good one. And also we use scikit-learn, a lot of models on that to find the best classification model that we can use. And to also dig into the relationship between different contents in the recipe, we also try Google Bird to make it more easy for us, to make it easier for us to tell whether it's a good one or not. And as a result, we have an accuracy score 0.67, which means that 0.60% that we can correctly evaluate whether it's a good recipe or not. Yeah, clap for us. Thank you. Okay, so let's check out what Mealmuse has to offer. Okay, still connecting. Okay, it's okay. We have another tab ready just to avoid this technical problems. Okay, so can you go back? Can you regenerate it again? Yeah, can we start it again? Yeah, so I remember what are the ingredients. Chicken, garlic, ice cream. Okay, ice cream. And onion. Okay. Okay, so let's give it some time. Okay, so at the meantime, any questions? I don't know why. Okay. Okay, so while it's waiting, maybe we can show some examples we have generated before on the slides. On the slide, please. Okay, so in terms like for salt chicken, tomato, and chocolate pudding, if you mix it all together, it will create a dishes like this. That looks pretty interesting. Okay, but with Mealmuse, we can have this tomato pasta and chocolate cake. Okay, can we go back to the app to see if it works? Oh, okay. Oh.
It finally worked. I'm so glad. Okay, so it looks like we got the dish one. We have the ingredients right here, and then we have the instructions, and we also have an image that's currently loading, but these are imaginary recipes, so they're being created by AI right now, I guess. Okay. But this sounds like a very good recipe. Can we check out dish 2, see what it's doing? Garlic, herb, butter, roasted chicken. That sounds like a legitimate recipe. And the best part is it cut out all the ice cream,
which wouldn't have gone with the ingredients that we had. So pretty much what you're telling me is that this app is taking into account all the legitimate ingredient compatibilities and then pretty much creating an edible recipe for us with those. Okay, and it looks pretty good so far. Yeah, maybe dish 1 is ready to load. Okay. Yeah, that looks good.
So if you're interested, we can show you this dish later. So can we go back to the presentation? Yeah, I'm on the pointer, thank you. Yeah, so, okay. So this is our future plan. So in the future, we want to incorporate the ingredients quantities about like how many teaspoons, how many chicken you want to use, and how many neggies you want to put. And also we wanted to remember the fridge contents, so you don't have to repeatedly like input your ingredients all the time. And at last, we want to try out diverse input methods with photo recognition, speech recognitions, and etc. So if you're interested in this app, just come and talk with us in the networking sessions, and we will probably give you one of these neggy. Okay, so this is our team.
This is our team. Thank you so much. Shout out to Christine manning the clicker. Shout out to Danuka for coming all the way from Kyoto. And thank you so much to all the TAs who supported us until like 2 a.m. We love you guys. And here's the barcode if you want to check us out. That's about it for Mealmuse. Thank you so much.
Let's welcome Yoshio. Let's give him a big round of applause. My name is Yoshio, and I just moved to Tokyo from Shanghai. And I'm planning to live here for a while. But the problem is I cannot speak any Japanese. Well, I can speak one sentence. 日本語わかりません. Okay? As some of you may know, it is very scary and daunting to live in a country without knowing its local language. Things that are easier to do before becomes very hard for me now. For example, doing tax or moving in and moving out of apartments is very, very hard. I can try to use Google search to find English service provider, but it can be a hit or miss. Now, which is why I use this app called ProFinder. It is a place just to find them. Well, today, right now, I'm looking for someone to help me with financial and tax goals in Japan. Which is why this app is very ideal for me. And let's see what ProFinder can provide me today. As you can see here, on the right side, I see lists of various types of services. On the right side, there is a map that shows all of the locations for each service. But today, I'm looking for someone who can help me with financial issues. So maybe I don't know, financial consultant. So maybe I'll choose the keyword financial planning for now. Let's search. Okay. It gives me all these choices. These choices are financial assistant related. But which one is closest to me? I see here's my awkward picture. And I see there's 2 services closest to me. And I live in Shibuya, by the way. So let's choose the bottom one first. Here, it says ME's Wealth Management for Expatriates. Let's click this one. Oh, ME's service has service rating 3 stars, English 3 stars. It has 28,000 yen per session. And let's see the reviews. Okay, it seems good to me. But I'm kind of worried with ME's English level because in normal situations, having basic communication in English is more than enough for me. But financial topics can be pretty tricky, don't you think? So, but the price is pretty ideal. So I'm going to save it for later. Okay. And let's go back to the search page, and then let's go to the second closest one. Remember? That one. It says Soskis Accounting and Financial Planning Help. Let's click that one. Here, it says service 4.7 stars, and oh, the English rating is higher than the previous one by Amy. And oh, but the price is a little bit more expensive. It's 35,000 yen per consultation. And oh, it's hard to choose. But you know what? Let's save it like the previous one. And let's compare them in bookmark page. Here, as you can see, there are two services being saved. I usually save similar services that are for comparison, or services that I usually save that I think that I might use later. For after consideration, I think I'm going to choose the Soskis Accounting and Financial Planning. Okay. Here, let's make an appointment. I'm free next week. So, I'm going to choose March 11 to March 12. 2 days. Let's create a booking. Okay, great. Now, it has it has the status pending, which means that I had to wait for a response from the specific Soskis service provider, right? Now, we have to wait, unfortunately. But while we wait, let's see, we have this past category. Here, it has Haruki's house moving services. I booked this service 1 week ago, and I want to leave a review. Why do I need to leave a review, you may ask? It's because he helped me a lot last week, because it was hard for me to find an English speaking service provider. And he was very nice. He was very professional. He's very focused. So I want to share my experience to everyone by leaving a review. So let's do this. Okay, how was the service? It was 5. And English skill, it was also 5. And let's comment, he was very professional, let's say. Okay, let's go to the reviews. Okay, great. Now we have Yoshio Kaneko, which is me, with a comment, he was very professional. Great. Now, I hope you guys remember that we need a booking status to check. So let's go back to the bookings page. And look, oh, it's been approved, which means my booking is successful. Yes. Now, this is how I usually use my ProFinder. As I mentioned before, having a service provider that can speak your native language helps you a lot and makes your life way easier. I might learn Japanese one day, but until that day, I know ProFinder can give me a helping hand. So thank you. I also want to thank Hiroshi, and I also want to thank Dan, and I also want to thank Wagon for giving me this great opportunity. And it was an amazing app, and it was an amazing journey. Thank you.
Let's welcome Sandun on stage for ML Palate.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and I'm from Manchester in the UK. And this is...
Hi, I'm Sandun. I'm from Australia.
So, first of all, can I just have a quick show of hands? Is there anyone here who has family or friends who owns or runs a restaurant business? Oh, quite a lot. I'm surprised. Well, actually, I personally also experienced this firsthand because my family used to run a restaurant
back home in Manchester. So I understand how difficult it is to manage a restaurant, and it's even more challenging to make it a successful one or just to stay in business, basically. So restaurants face many challenges, both externally and internally. Well, first of all, externally, there might be some fierce competition in the local market, and internally, it's not uncommon for restaurants to experience issues such as poor customer service or maybe inconsistent food quality. So you might be thinking, well, then how do restaurant owners know if they are doing it right? Well, reviews, right? They do get a lot of reviews from customers, like online review platform like Yelp. Yes, that's a great way to hear from customers directly. However, what if there are just way too many reviews to read through? So now we have a solution, and it is to use data sets from Yelp, because it's one of the most talked about review sites out there, especially in the US. And we'll be utilizing natural language processing modeling to extract valuable insights to help business owners to solve their issues and improve and optimize their performance. So introducing NL Palate. So it's an easy to use, easy to understand dashboard, and we will see that in action right now. So our teammate here, Renee, told me about a restaurant that he visited when he was in the US in New Orleans. So I'm thinking maybe we should try to see the performance of that restaurant. So Renee, can you please type LUKE in the search bar? Okay, just give it a minute to work its magic. Cool. Now, at the top of the dashboard, this is a descriptive analysis of the restaurant. So it seems like the restaurant is doing a pretty good job compared to its competitors. And if we scroll down a little bit more, we will see these two very colorful word clouds. The one on the left is the frequently mentioned keywords of the restaurant, and the one on the right is that of their competitors. And this might be insightful to find out what the trends are, and maybe the restaurant owners can innovate dishes to attract even more customers. So now we come to the third part. This is an even more interesting part of the dashboard, in my opinion. As you can see, there are the top 5 praises and top 5 complaints. And if you want to get more details, you can simply scroll down a little bit more and click on the word that you want to know more about. So why don't we try Tristan, praise example number 1. This is a praise. So Tristan is a name, probably the name of a waiter. So it seems like Tristan is their star employee, and I think that the restaurant should probably give Tristan a raise. So now, now it's time to explain to you more about in-depth modeling.
Thanks, Sophia. So word clouds are great and easy to understand, and getting common phrases is also useful, but there are over 500,000 phrases in our reviews. We're missing a lot of vital information. So we decided to use machine learning to get the topics instead. Here we use latent data-collect allocation, or LDA, to actually get our topics. So this unsupervised machine learning or algorithm allows us to reduce over 500,000 phrases to just 30 topics. Here we can see all the topics displayed, as well as the proportion of phrases that's been assigned. So some of our more common topics were summarized as outstanding service,
lacking value, or quality dining. So we have our topics now. What's next? We want to see which topics are having the biggest impact on review score. For this, we can run sentiment analysis through linear regression. So we developed a model that can predict review scores based on the presence of those 30 topics. We can then extract the model coefficients, which actually give the impact on the score of each topic, giving us the most impactful topics on the restaurant. So here we have our top 5 positive topics and negative topics. So for example, for Luke, we can actually see that service issues and long waits were 2 topics that were very negatively rated. So lastly, we wanted to add a Get Suggestions button to provide a more easy to digest format for restaurant owners. This uses a plugin to OpenAI's API to source a summary of actionable recommendations based on the complaints that they've received. So that's actually querying OpenAI right now. We're getting the result here, and it's giving a kind of list of improvements that the restaurant can make. So in terms of modeling, we still have some areas for improvement. So back to the slides. One thing I wanted to mention is an issue that often comes up in natural language processing, which is sarcastic language. So I wanted to draw your attention to one 5-star review. Get the bourbon bread pudding. If you're reading this and don't get it, you made the worst decision ever. Go home, you're drunk. I don't even understand what this is saying. How is a model going to decipher what's going on here? So we can potentially implement some sarcasm detection to see when a seemingly negative review is actually supposed to be positive and vice versa. This kind of implementation could improve our metrics and allow us to provide much more insightful feedback for restaurants. So NL Palate can help restaurant owners to transform a plethora of customer feedback into actionable intelligence, thereby allowing them to make data-driven decisions to stay in the game. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out to our team. Everyone took a huge ownership of their own roles, and without the dedication and the creativity of every single person here, this idea would never have come to life. So thank you very much, and thank you for listening.
Let's welcome Racine on stage for Impulse.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Racine, and I moved to Japan in 2015. I don't know if, well, actually, I know many people here have shared the difficulty of finding events to go to when you're in a new city, especially like Tokyo, right? You move here, you have no friends, nobody knows what's going on right now you talk to. So that's why I made the app Impulse. So Impulse is a fun app where you can see what events are going on around you right now. It's all live, and so tonight I'm feeling very impulsive. So I think I'll maybe check out the events near me. So let's scroll through the events near me. Oh, morning yoga? Or is it night yoga? Yeah, let's check out yoga. We can check out the pictures as well. Oh, this looks fun, but I don't think I want to do morning yoga at night. Let's go back to the map. All right, now I feel like I want to go to a tech event. Who likes tech events here? You're at one, so. Okay, let's click on a tech event where there's lots of people that's near me. Ooh, it's the Wagon demo day. That looks fun. Okay, it ends at 10, so I have plenty time to get there. And there's over 50 people, so lots of people to meet, right? Maybe I'll network with them. Let's check out the comments. The comments are live, so let's see if people are having fun right now. Oh, my friend Justin just said, oh, there's pizza. Who likes pizza? I do. Oh, yeah, Impulse app is awesome. Okay, let's get directions then. Let's go to the Wagon demo day. All right, it's pretty close, so I guess we're here. Let's check in. Oh, I got the tech enthusiast badge. I love going to tech events, so I'm glad I got this badge. Okay. All right, so we're here and we're having fun, right? Yeah? So let's make a comment. This is the best event ever. Okay, add comment. Woo! All right, I also want to add a picture since I'm having so much fun. I want other people to see the picture that I upload and maybe they'll join too. Everybody say cheese! Okay, let's use photo. And let's check to see if our picture is up. Happening. Okay. Oh, that's me. Oh, everyone. That looks fun. Okay, so I met a fun friend named Cyrene at the event. So I think I want to add him as a follower. So let's go to the followers page and add friends. And let's find Cyrene. Okay, add Cyrene as a friend. Fun. Let's check the followers page again. Nice. Also, I want to see my new badge. I love the badges. It makes me feel like I'm doing lots of stuff around the city. So I'm going to go to the dashboard and I can see my attended events as well as the badges I've earned. That's awesome. And let's go back to the map. And everyone, I just want to thank my team, Meg, Cyrene, Justin. We worked really hard and it was a lot of fun to make together. Also, I want to thank my TAs, especially Yan and Raj for helping us out and everyone for coming tonight. Thank you so much.
And for the next project, we're going to be talking about stuttering. And for that, I would like to welcome Lizzie on stage. Lizzie, you're ready to roll? Let's welcome Lizzie.
Hi, my name is Lizzie. I'm here with my teammates Satchane and Waylin, and we're so pleased to present our project, Smooth Talk Squad, which is about detecting stuttering in audio files. Stuttering, for those who are unaware, is a speech disorder where the flow of speech is interrupted by involuntary pauses, prolongations, or repetitions of sound. The most common form of stuttering is developmental, which affects between 5 and 10% of kids and occurs when they're learning language for the first time between the ages of 2 and 7. We have a little audio clip here of a girl who suffers from developmental stuttering.
Kids should ignore the people who tease them about stuttering because it's not their fault.
So I learned a lot about this topic because I have 2 kids and my kids both stutter. When my older daughter Ruby began to stutter, our family got involved with something called the Ligcomb program, which is a speech therapy program where the parents meet daily with the child for what we call smooth talk sessions, where we would practice speaking really fluently to set her up for success throughout the day. When she did well, we would give her 1 million high fives, and that made her feel really good about herself. This created a kind of virtuous cycle, which actually helped to rewrite the neural pathways in her brain that were causing the stuttering to begin with. The Ligcomb program is great, and it worked well for our family, but it is expensive and time-consuming. You have to meet weekly with a speech therapist to do it right. So because of that, I thought it would be great to create an app that helps kids like mine practice speaking smoothly in their daily practice sessions. And thus was born Smooth Talk Squad. So this is our app. It's designed as a game for kids where players are told that all of the animals have escaped from the Central Park Zoo and are now running amok in the city. Children are shown scenes from various spots in the city and asked to find the animals and record a message to send back to headquarters with the location of the animal. We are going to practice the with the settings on the first page here. Wagon's theme is change your life, learn to code. So we're all going to try and say that together on the count of 3. Help me out. Change your life, learn to code. And let's see how that goes. All right, so we are now processing that audio file, and we're going to send it over to HQ, and they are going to see how we did. Oh, and we did pretty good. All right, so we got balloons. That's amazing. We're going to go to the next challenge, and we can see the first real city scene with an animal hiding. So this is what the kids would see. There's the city scene. Can you find the animal? And I actually had my daughter Ruby play the game, and then I took a couple of her clips from when she was playing, and I'm going to show them to you here so that you can get a sense of how this might work in the real world with a child. So this is Ruby's first attempt.
I see a peacock right next to the seats in the train.
Okay, that was not bad, but it maybe could have been better. Not the smoothest. Let's see what the folks at HQ say. They say we need to try again. All right, so we're going to now upload Ruby's second attempt at this scene. Let's see how she does.
I can see a peacock on the subway.
That sounded a lot smoother to me. All right, so now we're going to send that one to HQ. Oh, we got balloons because we're amazing. Great job, Ruby. So kids who play the game can cycle through a variety of city scenes like that and practice speaking smoothly. Under the hood, the technology for our stutter detection was created using the SEP28K, which is a publicly available data set with about 28,000 audio files taken from stuttering-themed podcasts where people who stutter interview other people who stutter. We collect the raw wave file on the app itself and then cut that raw file into 3-second clips. And then those 3-second clips are transformed into something called MFCCs, which basically show the relative frequencies that are present in the sound signal. Once we have those MFCCs, we put them into our deep learning model. For those of you with a data science background, you'll note that we used a convolutional layer, which basically treats the MFCCs as though they're a really complicated photo and then takes mini snapshots of sections along the photo to detect the exact pattern of what's happening in the audio signal. Then we take that information and we pass it through an LSTM layer, which is really good at detecting patterns over time. When the data comes out of the deep learning model, it gives us a probability that each 3-second clip contains stuttering. If all of the 3-second clips are labeled as not containing stuttering, then we label the entire clip as fluent and you get balloons. So right now, in terms of performance, when our app says that stuttering is present, we are correct about 65% of the time. We are only capturing around 23% of the actual stuttering in the data set. And these numbers are not really as strong as we would want them to be before pushing this live into the world for children to use. And the reason for that is because stuttering encompasses a lot of different sound patterns. Sometimes stuttering sounds like repetitions of individual sounds or whole words. Sometimes it sounds like a sound being stretched out or the absence of a sound. And in clinical settings, speech therapists often also look for physical signals to determine whether a child is stuttering, and our app is audio-based, so it can't detect those physical signals. To fix these things, we think we could use more and better data, training data. In particularly, we would love to have more clips from children. And in addition, we would love to incorporate more complex features to train on, such as phoneme probabilities, wave-to-vec embeddings. We need a little more compute power to put that in, but that would be the next steps. And then if some of our web dev friends want to help us out, we would love to move this thing off of Streamlit so that we can have a more customizable user experience. Overall, this was a great experience. I want to thank my teammates, Sachane and Waylon, so much. These guys were like amazing to work with. This was a great experience. Thank you, Wagon. Thank you, everyone. And check out our app. Yay!
Let's move on to our next pitch. We're diving back into web for this next pitch. And for that one, we're going to welcome Leo on stage. And Leo has a very specific problem in Japan with recognizing food.
Thank you for the introduction, Sylvan. As he said, my name is Leo, and I am part of Team CIET, or Can I Eat This? And my team and I decided to solve a very specific problem that is near and dear to our hearts. Because one of our teammates and now good friend, Felix, recently just arrived to Japan for the bootcamp. Unexpectedly, his greatest challenge while in Japan wasn't studying how to code or learn to program or navigating through Shinjuku Station. His biggest problem was finding food that he could eat. My friend Felix is a vegetarian, and in his home country of Germany, they have many food labels that makes foods easily identifiable for him to see if he can eat them or not. In Japan, we don't have those labels. All you have is a ingredient food label, which is all in Japanese, and many of us, including him, cannot read or speak it. So, to survive, he has been using Google Translate, which we all know isn't the most accurate. And also, even when it does translate successfully, there are many ingredients that he comes across that he just doesn't know, like bonito flakes or kombu. He just never had them in Germany, so he can't tell with the Google Translate if it is edible for him. So we decided to create this app to make his time in Japan more comfortable. I had a few errands to run today. He invited me to vegetarian potluck tomorrow, and I'm in charge of bringing some snacks to the party. So I decided to bring some chips, but I need to make sure that these chips are vegetarian. So let's try and scan them and see what we find. So the first chips, I think they look vegetarian to me, are seaweed flavored chips. I don't see anything meat about them, so I think these will be vegetarian. So let's give them a scan. What do you guys think? Can I bring this tomorrow? Yes, people? How about no people? No people. No? So it sounds like yes. So right now, it is saying it's not safe for me to eat. The reason being is, could you click on it? So in the chips, it contains scallop extract powder. Last time I checked, scallops are not vegetarian, right? So I'm gonna chuck these away. I can't eat those. All right. So let's look at another bag of chips. Hopefully these will be vegetarian. Let's scan another item. These are plain salt chips. I don't know. I think these look like they'd be vegetarian. What do you guys think? Can I eat this? Oh, yes, it is. All right. So right now, it's scanning the ingredients list from the image, and it's checking each ingredient individually. Oh, and as it comes here, they're all vegetarian. But not only are my chips vegetarian, we can also see that they're vegan, pescatarian, peanut-free, and dairy-free. All right. So, and you can see the full list. For example, can you click the second one? So it's potatoes. Next is vegetable oil. And there's a short description about each ingredient. You want these? All right. So you might be asking yourself, why use this application? Why not just Google, is this vegan or is this vegetarian? I mean, these chips are very famous. They're very popular, right? But what if you tried to Google search this bento box? All right? You go to the supermarket. There's plenty of bento boxes. There's too many to count on Google. So my friend, Alex, he told me to actually buy this bento for him. He said he's very hungry and he'd like to eat after the event. But he's pescatarian and has a peanut allergy. So what I want to do is edit my preferences. So, edit the preference. All right. And so instead of being vegetarian this time, I want to choose pescatarian and peanut-free. All right. Then I will update it by typing in my password. Don't look. All right. It's super secret, okay? What? All right, so as we input the password to try and update our, all right, so it seems like that isn't working at the moment, but no fear. I'm going to scan the label anyways and see what happens. So As we can see here, even though I didn't update my preferences, we still know if it's peanut-free, pescatarian-free, or dairy-free. And as you can see here, even though it's not vegetarian, which is my preference, it does fit my friend's preference. So I'm not going to kill my friend today. Here you go. So in the future, or soon, I hope that you guys won't have to guess if you can eat it or not. You will be able to scan your ingredients label, and it'll tell you. Before we go, I want to thank my team, the boys, Koji, Felix, and Noah. Without them, we couldn't have made this possible. And I want to thank Wagon, and especially the TAs and the teachers, because without them, we probably wouldn't have been here either. So thank you very much.
Cool. We have 4 more demos for you, a couple of data ones, a couple of web ones. And for that last stretch, I'm going to invite Christia on stage for Emotify. Let's welcome Christia.
Good evening, everyone. Let me ask you a simple question. Who here has never listened to any music before? Really? To be honest, really? See, so almost all people here in this room have listened to some sort of music before, or even up until now, right? But as new songs gets generated each year, the options to choose of music is becoming larger. And so this gives me a bit of a problem where, I want to play my favorite music, but when I open my music library, boom, tons of playlist recommendations gets on my screen. But I'm not really the type of person to take my time and browse through all of these. And to add it up, I'm also quite changing my mood very fast. And because of that, I might need to browse another playlist again once my mood or emotion would change, right? But what if there is an application that can recognize your current mood or emotion from your face and generates your playlist? How does that sound? Cool, right? So let me introduce to you our application, Emotify. And without further ado, let's welcome our dearest friend Atsuko-san to show us how this works. Hey, let's give Atsuko a round of applause. All right, so we're in our Streamlit webpage. Okay, and here's our Emotify application. Tune in your emotions and transform out your playlist. Let's see if this tagline does do it well. Right, so Atsuko-san, can you give us the biggest smile? There we go. And let's try to generate a playlist from this. Right, so currently, as you can see on the right-hand side, your image or your face is being read by our model on what kind of emotion is shown on your face. So let's give the model a bit of time, and there we go. Atsuko-san is quite happy today because it's demo day and we're here in front. But what about the playlist? All right, it's transforming our emotions to the playlist, and there we go. We have our Sunshine Serenade, everyone. Now, how about Atsuko-san? Can you play one song from this playlist? Let's see. Right. Okay. So how about we try to do a reset, Atsuko-san? Can we do clear and reset everything? Okay, there we go. So we're actually a team of 4, but someone is missing, right? So actually, one of our team members, Daisuke-san, has sent us a very important material for our demo today, despite his absence. So let's see here. So Daisuke-san is an acquaintance of ours, a team member from, I think, Kyoto or Osaka? Iwate. So sorry about that. Yeah. So unfortunately, he isn't here with us because of important matters. But let's see what this important file has Daisuke-san sent us today. Oh no! Daisuke-san is quite sad because he couldn't come to the demo. But don't worry, Daisuke-san, we got you covered and we have your playlist here for you, which is called the Pensive playlist. And fun fact, you can actually play this also in your Spotify library. Did you know about that? No, right? So let's go on to Spotify and try to play it immediately over there. And there we have it. Now let's try one song, just one song. That's the sun. Oh, there's Never Let You Go. Wow. Okay, let's try one song. Can we do it? Nah. Oh, okay. So if you have a Spotify account, people, you can immediately save this into your library. Right? Now let's go back to our presentation. So with Spotify, yes, you can get in the mood and go with the flow with just a selfie. Sounds cool, right? And it was fun, quite dynamic, and would spice up your music selection process. Now, but how does this entire process work, you might ask? So what's happening is that when you take your selfie, your face image is actually sent to our emotion extraction model, which first recognizes your face, right? And then afterwards, it's going to classify the dominant emotion score from that face image. That emotion score will then be forwarded to our function, which uses the metadata of a music database with emotion labels, and afterwards predicts songs that has the closest score with the emotion, with a predicted emotion score from the image after that. Afterwards, it's going to call on Spotify API to generate your playlist and embedding, which was shown in our application earlier from the demo. Now, what types of models did we use for this app or for this application or architecture? First, we used face mesh from MediaPipe to detect and track facial landmarks or facial features, as you can see over here. And the second model we use is actually a general object detection model called VGG16. So this is a pre-trained model, but we were able to fine-tune the model, so modify the architecture a bit with the weights, and retrain this model with an image dataset with 7 emotion categories to perform emotion classification tasks. And with this model, we were able to reach up to 88% accuracy on the emotion label prediction. But we also used metadata from the Spotify music dataset with emotion labels. But there's only 1,000 songs, and we thought that maybe 1,000 wasn't enough to give us the variety of playlists that we need. So we took this bigger popular song dataset without any emotion labels and used a neural network together with feature engineering to label each songs with their corresponding emotional scores, leading us to have our own playlist database with emotion labels. And with that, we did have future developments. So we have envision of adding actually a face recording function in our application. And this would mean that our model can also process videos. And with this one, we can add a recurrent neural network in our architecture for the future development. And before we end, I would like to thank all of our teachers and teaching assistants for having been with us for the past 6 months and have enabled us to accomplish this feat. And huge shout out to part-time data science, fellow classmate batch, and also to other Wagon students who have pitched tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing our Emotify team with our project leader, Mr. Asto Tatsumi, Mr. Daisuke Kurata, who is with us online. Hello, Daisuke-san. And Mr. Robert Kanashiro over here, and yours truly, Christian Lewis. And with that, don't forget, Emotify your tunes now. Thank you very much.
I would like to invite Kanji Cam on stage.
Hello, everyone. I know it's been a long night, but if you pay attention to this, I think you're really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, I think the majority of our audience tonight will relate to this product a lot, right? As people living in Japan, and many of us non-native speakers, I think we've all experienced a little bit of difficulty studying kanji before, right? But there are some really great resources for learning Japanese. Unfortunately, though, a lot of them require you to already know how the kanji is read in advance. Or you have to write them into your phone using some handwriting recognition. But I don't know about you. I have never had good handwriting, and these kind of study methods have never been the most effective for me. But luckily, I was able to find a new app called Kanji Cam that allows me to send the kanji data directly into my phone just by taking a picture. So once I've opened the app, one thing I've been doing with it, using it just for one afternoon in Shinjuku, is I was able to collect a whole bunch of kanji. And so whenever I want to go back and check a kanji that I've captured before, I can just zoom in to where it is on the map and get all the data that I learned about it when I captured it. So one kanji I'd like to share with you is the kanji for Yado, right? You may recognize this from Shinjuku. It's the second character in Shinjuku. So one thing this app is really good at is telling you all the different readings of a kanji, because those of you who have studied Japanese know that one kanji can sometimes have 7 different ways of being read. So that's really difficult. But luckily, this app collects all that information for us and makes it really easy. Another great feature that I liked and enjoyed was the ability to see example sentences. So, for instance, this first one here is really good. And we should be able to hear it too. Yeah. So when we click on the audio button, we should be able to hear a pretty accurate Japanese pronunciation. Now, if we're not able to hear it, that's all right. One thing you'll notice is that a pronunciation guide also appears. So for instances when you're on the phone, or sorry, excuse me, on the train, you can still see the pronunciation, and then you can listen to it later. Okay, having done that, I'd also like to show you my kanji collection. So I've been collecting all these kanji, and there's a list of them. What's really nice here is that I'm studying for the Japanese proficiency test, right, the JLPT. And here I can see which kanji belong to which level of the test. Now, what I'd like to do is prepare myself for N3. So I can go to the dashboard, and I can even see what proportion of kanji belong to which level. So you can see here the green and yellow are my N2 and N3, and they're roughly even, which is really good because I'm preparing for N3, and I think this is the level I'm at. But, I need to catch a Shinkansen because I actually don't live in Tokyo. I live in Kyoto. So I've got to go back, and I think because I'm in Shinjuku, I need to take the Marunouchi line back to Tokyo Station, catch my Shinkansen. So excuse me for a moment. Okay. Well, I had a little extra free time, and I like earning points with the app. So I think what I'm going to do is take a picture of this Marunouchi sign. I'm pretty confident that this one is Uchi, but points are fun, so I want to collect this one. All right, so yeah, here's Uchi. And wow, I earned points. I like earning points. And what I'd like to do, so I remember exactly where I scanned this kanji, I'd like to leave a note that this was from the Marunouchi line. So I'm just going to type in Marunouchi and leave a note to my future self who may or may not have forgotten this kanji. That's okay. All right, so I think it's nearly time to hop on the Shinkansen. So away I go. All right, and so I'm relaxing on the Shinkansen. I've got some downtime, and I think now is a really good opportunity for me to practice my kanji flashcards. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go study my kanji flashcards, and you'll recall that I'm studying for N3. So I select the N3 deck, and let's see this one. Okay, you remember, right? Everybody remember this one? Yeah. Exactly, yeah, Yado. Okay, so we can give ourselves a green, right? Because we remembered that one really well. Okay, this one I think is Nagasu or Ryu, right? So I'm going to hit green on that. And then this is stone, Ishi, right? So let's hit green on that. And, you know, the Shinkansen is so fast. Oh my gosh, I've already arrived in Kyoto. But luckily, I can pause my session. I can hit finish session. And there we go. I've earned 30 points for studying these cards, right? And I can go back and resume that session whenever I need to. But for now, I think I'm going to view all the decks again. And actually, I'm meeting a friend of mine, I think soon, at a museum in Kyoto. So some of you may know on Shijo Street in Kyoto, there's actually a kanji museum. So you know I must really love kanji, right? But to get in the Kyoto spirit, what I'd like to do first is, I'm a bit parched. I want to get some coffee, matcha latte. So I've picked up my matcha latte, and I think I'm going to head on over to the Kanji Museum and check it out. Uh-oh, I seem to have done something wrong, but hold on. My kanji may not quite be up to this. Let's see. So I know this one means eat, and this one, you can see it's very similar, right? It has this component in it. I think this one means to drink, right? But then what is this one? It also has this eating element to it. We know this one, right? Everybody remember? Uchi, inside. So, okay, inside where though? What I'd like to do is quickly check what this means, and then maybe he won't be so mad at me. So, there. So one thing, the string may be in the way. Oh, but we got it. Okay. Okay. So this means public building. So I'm thinking lattes are probably a no-go in the whole museum. So I think I'll take it outside. And without further ado, I'd like to conclude our presentation. Thank you so much for your patient attention. I would also really like to thank my teammates. We have Miho holding the signs. Our tapper was Tiger, and Taka was the actually very kind person, not a mean museum attendant. All right, thank you very much.
Without further ado, let's welcome them on stage.
Hello everyone. So we're the Sound and Symphony team. What did we try to do? We tried to create an AI model to generate music compositions. So let's start with a little bit of wisdom. Life without music would be a mistake. That's very true. That's why, as a team, we decided to create a deep learning model that generates musical compositions. Why did we want to do this? As a team, we're all very musically interested, and we wanted to develop a tool that helps us generate more music and increase our creative output. And in that sense, we try to also include a live performance aspect out of it.
Okay, let me tell you a little bit about our journey. So we set out to create an application. This application would generate an original musical composition. This original musical composition, we imagined that creatives and artists could use this music in their own musical projects, or maybe they would have something to play in the background while they're doing chores or while they're studying or something like that. But how do we get there? How do we get there after all? Well, after all, the musical composition is just a sequence. Well, we can start with this. Since a musical composition is just a sequence, we need to find a model that will make a prediction or will recognize patterns in a sequence. Then it would be able to create our musical composition. Okay, so we finally decided to use a recurrent neural network. Now, a recurrent neural network, this is a special kind of neural network that can discover very nuanced, detailed patterns in a sequence of numbers. It can only read numbers. It can only read a sequence of numbers. So we have to keep that in mind going forward. Now, yes, Wagon, learning the machinations of this machine learning model will change your life, and you don't need to code. Very difficult thing to do, but we gave it our best, and we found a model that finally works, but we need data. We need to train this model with some sort of data. We found a wonderful data set called the Maestro data set,
It can be found on TensorFlow, the TensorFlow's website. It has 200 hours of piano recordings. It's all classical music. And the data format is MIDI. And this is perfect for the kind of machine learning project we had in mind. Why? Well, these MIDI files, they don't contain any sound waves. They contain numerical values. These numerical values represent pitch and velocity and the duration of the sound. Also, we can think about MIDI, this MIDI format as sort of instruction for musical software. So it's great training data, and it's also very, very convenient data format for music production software like Ableton Live or GarageBand or FL Studio. Go to the next one. Okay, so we need a user interface for creatives like yourselves to use this application. And so we created this nice little application which will allow you to download a MIDI file and also select certain things like the scale or the key that you would like to have your musical composition played. And I'll let Philip take it from here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's very fun actually, because the aim, as you can see, we put a MIDI file and then we can actually translate it into many different melodies. So we can choose many different scale. If you know a little bit about music, you can kind of change the arrangement of notes and you can have very, very fun outputs. So for example, we can start with a classical C major, which is used in a lot of popular songs, but we can go in a little bit kind of more exotic kind of environments and musical tones. We can go in a, I don't know, D flat minor mixolydian, and we go into a very, very different ambiance. So then we can generate the MIDI, and this MIDI can be directly put into a musical software. So for example, you're familiar with GarageBand, we can use this in GarageBand and have a sound that's outputted. And what's very, very nice is that it can be used in many different musical softwares. And that's the second part of our project, which we create this API, Sound to Symphony, that contains our model. And it sends a response to this musical software, Ableton, and we can actually continuously generate music without stopping. So it's very, very fun. If you're a musician, it's a great tool for creativity. So we'll give you a little example of this live coding of implementing this API. Nice. So here it is, the call has been called, and the training is going to be sent to the musical interface. Okay, not the most musical, but it's all right. Let's add a little bit of effects, a little bit of layers. Okay, a little bit of delay. Maybe reverb. And then we change a little bit the ambiance, so it's a bit nicer, a bit more melodic. It's very, very nice, because if you want to do music, you have this first layer that's been created by the Sound and Symphony API. Then above, you can, for example, have your keys, you can have your piano that's playing above, you can have your drums, you can have your bass. It's actually a really, really good tool if you want to do live performances, or just if you're interested in music and kind of want to have a better idea of what you want to produce in the future. So, exactly, so what's kind of the takeaways of this project? We created this generative music composition model. It's very customizable. So this MIDI outputs are really customizable and very useful to kind of put effects and kind of create rich sounds. And of course, it can be integrated for live music production, which is, again, very interesting, and we enjoy it. So yeah, let's finish with another little bit of wisdom. You are the music while the music lasts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Let's welcome Alex on stage to tell us a story.
Do you like stories? Do you like learning languages? I think we all like learning languages. My name is Alex. I'm 29 years old and I come from Denmark. After coming to Japan, I've realized my English ability is quite lacking a little bit. I've made friends from America, from England, and I think we can all agree that learning a foreign language is quite difficult. I've learned English my whole life, but despite that, I still have a lot of challenges. So I realized I want to improve my English. I need to study English, but I really hate studying like the traditional way. I don't like cracking open a book, just sit down, read, and make notes and study. I want something visual. I want something engaging. I want something which is fun. I'm also a little bit of a nerd. I like choose your own adventure kind of things. Storytime brings all of that to me, and I want to explore it with you guys. So let's have a look. Let's get inside of the app. All right, so when I get inside of the main page, I can choose to create a new story. I can make a new story. I can check out the library of stories that I have read before, and I can also choose to study the words that I have saved as flashcards in my app. Before we go to the fun part, let's just check out the stories that I've made before in my library. All right, guys, this is really cool. All of the stories that I've created before, they are saved here, both the stories that I've finished reading, also the stories that I have not finished reading, and the pictures which are generated by artificial intelligence are also set on the stories. Plus, it has a little flashcard icon, so I can study the words that I have saved into this story. But let's have some fun, shall we? Create a new story. All right, it's Friday night, right? I think I'm in the mood for a love story. We don't have that much time. I think we all want to have some pizza, so let's pick a short story. My English is not that bad. I just want to improve my vocabulary. Let's pick an advanced. And this is where I want to ask you guys, what do you want the story to be about? It can be about anything. Any ideas? Pizza? Let's make it about pizza. Pizza in Shibuya. Web development bootcamp. A last sentence. Anyone? Karaoke. All right, let's see what it brings to us. All right, so it does take a moment for it to create a story for us, but that's because artificial intelligence is right now processing all of the stuff that we just gave it. The images that will be generated by the story, the text, everything is being processed right now. Hopefully, this will not take as long as the other. Oh yeah, nice. The karaoke mystery. This is a brand new story. I've not read the story before. You've not read the story before. Do you want to explore it? Yeah, let's go ahead. The picture should also be coming very, very soon. Wow. In the bustling streets of Shibuya, a group of friends gathered for a night of fun and music at a local karaoke bar. Among them was Emily, a web development bootcamp student with a passion for coding and singing her heart out. As the night went on, they stumbled upon a mysterious clue hidden in the lyrics of an old song. The clue hinted at a secret pizza recipe that was said to be the best-kept culinary treasure in the city. What does culinary mean? Let's click on the word to see. Culinary relating to the practice of cookery or the activity of cooking. I think I want to save this flashcard just so I can remember it. Very cool. So how do you want to progress the story? Do you want to follow the clue to uncover the secret pizza recipe? Or ignore the clue and continue singing karaoke all night? Number one, right? I think it's still loading the next part of the story, so we'll have to wait a little bit. Yeah, it's ready. Let's go on. Until the pizza comes. All right. Intrigued by the mysterious clue. I don't think this is a love story. Emily and her friends decided to embark on a quest to uncover the secret pizza recipe. They followed a trail of riddles that led them through the winding alleys of Shibuya, past neon lights and bustling shops. What does bustling mean? To move busily and energetically with fussiness. I think that's, yeah, probably what the word means. Let's save it in the flashcard. I don't think we have that much time left, so I just want to go and review the flashcards that I've saved into my story from the library probably this time. Let's go down. We should probably find our story here. The karaoke mystery. Okay, it's saved in our library database. Let's go ahead and check the flashcards. Cool. It has the cards that I've saved and a nice, yeah, cool background. All right, relating to the practice of cookery. Right, really cool. I can study the flashcards that I've made from the story anytime I want. I think I'm going to use this Storytime app to continue improving my English and hopefully not embarrass myself in front of American friends. All right, thank you so much. This was Storytime. This app is a result this app is made of sweat, tears, and a lot of fun in these past 2 weeks. So it's not just me; it's JD, the backend genius, and Glenn. We all made this app and possible. And yeah, give them all a round of applause. And yeah, I think this is the last pitch. So thank you very much, guys. Hope you have a great evening and a great weekend. Bye.